Hi, thanks for coming back to my channel. My name is Kiera. I really appreciate y'all coming to hang out with me once again. Today, I just wanted to kind of like go over some of my empties that I've had for the past little bit here. I wanted to kind of go over some of my empties that I've like finished up a little bit. There's like makeup and stuff in here, and some skincare and all of that. So let's just pull something out and let's go. One thing, I actually finished this, I would say like pretty much yesterday. This is an EOS lip balm. I feel like it's kind of an accomplishment to even finish a lip balm or chapstick or anything like that, because most people lose them before they even get halfway through them. But yeah, I finished this one. This one I think was in like the vanilla mint flavor scent or whatever. I didn't really get a whole lot of mint from it. It mostly smells kind of like vanilla. I also don't feel like this really moisturized my lips as well as I would have liked it to. I feel like this, like, for the first 20 minutes felt pretty moisturizing on my lips. But then as time would go on, no matter how much of this I would try to put on, it never felt like it was moisturizing. Like it was like penetrating and actually like moisturizing my lips. It almost just felt like a balm to like put another moisturizing thing on top of, kind of thing, you know? Or like to put like a lip treatment on top of, but that defeats the point of wearing a lip balm, because I wear lip balm to bed every single night, because I do wear liquid lipsticks. I wear matte liquid lipsticks almost every day. If I'm wearing makeup, I'm wearing a matte liquid lipstick. So I do take care of my lips. I exfoliate and I wear lip balm, and I like make sure that like my mouth is moisturized. But this didn't really feel like it did much of anything. I have a new one that I've actually really liked. The new one I got is not only totally my aesthetic, but it like feels more moisturizing. Like I had this one on today for like 20 minutes or so, and when I finally wiped off whatever was left and to put lipstick on, it felt like my lips were a lot softer than they were than when I first put it on. I got this at Ulta in one of those bins around the checkout area, so you can get this there. This is actually really good. I like it a lot. It's very minty, but it tingles a little bit too. So it's like you ate something spicy and then you put a minty lip balm on top or something. I don't know. But yeah, this lip balm, it's not bad. I probably wouldn't purchase this. This is probably great if you're just someone who only wears lip balm all day. Like you don't actually wear lipstick or anything, or your lips aren't super dry or anything like that. This is probably good for that. But this, I would not buy this again. I just felt like I wanted to try an EOS balm. This isn't bad. I wouldn't repurchase. Next thing I want to talk about is this is the Maybelline Falsies Volume Express Mascara. This mascara is actually really good. I like this. This isn't the first time that I've actually finished a tube of this. I've bought this I think once or twice before and have used the full tubes, and I like this. This gives me a really nice length. You can't layer it too much because it does start to clump up after a while. Mascara is one of those things where, because I wear falsies so often, I don't really circuit through a whole bunch of mascaras. This and the Lancome Monsieur Big is the only mascaras I actually have bought multiple like things of. Like other mascaras, I may have tried them and liked them, but I don't really keep buying the same mascaras over and over again. This is like one of my like go-tos from the drugstore, but I don't think I'm actually going to rebuy this again because I'm trying to be more cruelty free with what makeup I purchase. So I don't think I would buy this again, simply based off of the fact that Maybelline is not cruelty free. I'm trying to remember if Lancome is. If it's not, well, I'm in deep water, because that is my favorite mascara of all time. Holy grail status. Holy grail status. The next thing I have is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. This is also not my first time having this or whatever. Or no, I think this is the first time I finished it. I already repurchased this because this is easily my favorite liquid liner from the drugstore. Probably just in general, because I haven't really tried any mid-range or high-end or anything like that eyeliners. But this one is so good, I don't see a point in even really trying another eyeliner. I do eyeliner pretty often. Not a wing all the time, but I do line my lash line all the time, simply to kind of conceal the line, like the lash band of my falsies. This liner is so good. I like that it's matte. It doesn't have any sort of shine or anything to it, so it doesn't really distract away from any sort of I look. It doesn't look like super out of place or anything. The applicator, I actually, oh, it's very dry in there because it's old, but I don't know if you could tell. Oh gosh, there's like a clump of something there. It's probably dried eyeliner, but it's pretty thin. I like that, so you can get a nice precise thin line. So whenever I do just want to line my lash line and not have a wing or anything, I can actually get super close on the inner corner and do like a simple line if I want to. The next one is Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Tip Eyeliner. I have not seen anybody talk about this eyeliner, and I'm just a little confused as to why, because this is such a great felt liner. Hold on. The tip. Focused. Do you see how skinny and tiny that tip is? It is so tiny. You can get a really nice precise line. This one isn't fully matte. It's got a little bit of a satiny kind of finish to it. I prefer a matte liner, but not a lot of liners seem to be matte for whatever reason. I don't get it, but whatever. This one has a little bit of a shine to it. This is so inexpensive. I really like this. I think this is so good. You can get it at like a CVS, Walgreens. I think that's where I first saw this. Was I just had, you know, they always give out those coupons and stuff for like extra money off. And I bought this and I bought this when I had like extra credit or whatever, and it was like basically free for me. I really enjoy this. I would totally repurchase this, but at this current moment I'm waiting to finish up another felt tip liner that I have right now before I buy any more felt tip liners, because it doesn't make sense for me to have two open at one time. You know what I mean? This one is the Wet n Wild liquid liner, and this is just in the shade black. I hate this. I don't like this. This is awful. It's like $2, but honestly, I would just say save up and get a better liner. This one's so watery, and I feel like the applicator doesn't help you out either. It's like a weird like felt brush type of situation. It's really thin, but since it's so watery, it like you have to layer this so many times before it even starts to get to full opacity. And when it does, it because you've layered it, it like crumbles everywhere. This one's not super great at all. I've tried this one, and I also tried it in the blue color that this comes in. I don't like either one. The formula is just not super great. I feel like Wet n Wild has done better eyeliners. Again, that felt tip, the super skinny one, so good, but that one's of course in a felt tip and probably not the same formula as this, because this is trash. I don't like this at all. Would not recommend this, would not rebuy this whatsoever. This next one is the Lottie London Stamp Liner. It's kind of like rubbed off because I've used it so much. This is one of the ones that comes with, can you see? Hold on, I'll just stamp it. Yeah, the stamp end still has a little bit of product in there, but I didn't really care for the stamp too much, and I ran out of the felt side. But it's a felt tip, and it has a stamp on the other side. I kind of wish it was just the whole stamp, because I didn't buy this for the actual liner. The liner in it though is pretty good. I have the star one still. I mostly just use that one as a stamp though. I don't really use a liner on that one. It's not a bad eyeliner. It's not a great eyeliner. The tip is a bit thick and chunky, so it takes you no time at all if you do want to fill in a wing. It's a little hard to kind of get a super like thin line with this. It's not bad. It's not great. But I didn't really care for the crescent sided. That's what I mostly bought this for. So I probably won't get this again. The star one though was really good. I would highly recommend that one, because it's way cheaper than getting the Milk Star stamp. And the Milk Star stamp is just the stamp, of course, but it's much cheaper, and you get the eyeliner. And I mean, if you think about stamps and like felt liners, it'll probably last you about the same amount of time and stuff too, so there's no point really paying more for the stamp liner, just being real. I have the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. This is in the shade Espresso. I like this. A couple months or so ago, I pretty much took off the tail end of my eyebrow. Like what you're seeing here is, hold on, let me see if I'm pointing so correctly. My brow actually naturally grows out much longer than where it stops at now. And I pretty much took off the tail end of my brows because I felt like they were a bit too long for my face. I don't know. I feel like this shape fits my whole face and like eye and everything a whole lot better. So I like this shape, but when I had longer eyebrows, my brows are also a lot thicker and stuff too. And I would just use this as like a run through out the door sort of situation. But now I prefer a little bit more of a slightly more structured eyebrow. So I do use a pomade on the daily basis to fill in my brow rather than just using a brow mascara. I did rebuy this and I do still like it, but I don't use it solely by itself anymore. I now use it in tandem with the brow pomade, kind of as like a last step to run through my brows and kind of set them in place a little bit. I like this. I think this is great if you have really nice eyebrows or just brows that you don't really have to do a whole lot to. This is really good. The color is also pretty okay. I could probably go a little bit darker, but I also kind of like the streaks that it puts in my eyebrows of like lighter eyebrow hairs, because I feel like it gives my eyebrows more like dimension and looks more realistic and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being extra. We'll talk about some black lipsticks. I finished both of these. We'll start with this one. This is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in the shade Tar Pit. I think they should rename these because these are not always on. These are always off. Always off on the ridge of your cup. Always off on your shirt collar. Always off on everywhere but your mouth. Always on where? I don't know where. I am not a fan. I do like that these aren't drying. Like, they're matte, but they're not drying. I have also tried a metallic one from this line. Also, always off. Never on. This formula is like moussey. It's pretty thick. The one thing I do like about this is the applicator. The applicator is like this teardrop shape. It's nice and pointed, so you can get a nice line without a need for a lip liner or anything like that. The color's not bad. It's just because of that moussey texture, it takes a while to dry down. And then when it does dry down, it also comes off. Like, it transfers on everything. Like, as I was saying a moment ago, it's on the ridge of your cup, it's on your fork, it's on a napkin if you go to blot your face and it just happens to touch your mouth. It's on your cardigan if you're taking it off. It's on everything. It doesn't stay on your mouth. And when it does start to transfer, it doesn't just transfer and then look, the same. It transfers and then looks like a faded pair of black jeans. And the next one I have is the Sephora Lip Creme. This one, contrary to the Smashbox one, is fabulous. This one is, I don't think it's advertised as being like a matte because it's just called a lip creme, but this is nice on the mouth. It feels very like light. The formula's not too thin, but not too thick either. It's pretty nice. I have so many in this line. I think I have like 2. Yeah, I believe I have 2 other ones other than this one. I finished this one, but this one's really good. There's a nice amount of product in here as well too. It's black, like it's black. It's pigmented. It goes on really smoothly. The applicator is just your normal like doe foot, simple rounded applicator. Yeah, I like that. It applies really well. It's pigmented. It doesn't fully just stay on your mouth like it does in transfer. Because like this Smashbox one, it's not super drying. It does take a little bit to fully dry down, but once it does, it stays on your mouth relatively well. It will transfer a bit, but it doesn't look like faded denim after a while on your mouth. I did rebuy this already. This is the Lancome Monsieur Big. This is such a good mascara. And it comes in multiple different shades. I think it comes in a brown too, so if you don't want a black like I have, you can get something a little bit more lighter that's not going to be as stark on your skin tone maybe, or something that's just lighter color if that's what you like. This is really good. I'll show you the wand. I don't know if that's giving a good representation because this is like pretty dry. I like this mascara. I feel like it lasts me a long time. I first tried this from a sample actually from Ulta. I think it was one of my like birthday gift things. It was like a sample of this mascara. I tried it, and from that point on I was like, well, whenever this runs out, I need to buy a full size because this is the best mascara. Yeah, I love this mascara. Again, I've already repurchased it. I would highly recommend trying this. Even if you don't want to get the full size, the sample size I think is like $12, and you can get it at Ulta. I don't know if they have the sample size on sale at Sephora. I could be wrong. Anyway, so I keep mentioning lash glues, and I should at least say what lash glues I do like and my opinions on them. I currently finished up these 2 tubes of the Duo. This is a strip lash adhesive. It's just in the white/clear version. It smells like glue. It is glue, but it smells like glue. These are good. I like these. I probably won't get this kind again though. I like the Duo lash glue formulas that they have. This one's okay. I just didn't like the fact that it was in a squeezy tube. That's the only issue I have with these. The formula was nice. It stayed on my eyes pretty well. I could like cry in my lashes and they didn't fully come off my eyes. I believe, I've tested that out. Because I am clumsy and constantly would squeeze out way too much eyelash glue than what I'd actually need, because I did not trust myself to just slowly squeeze out on the back of each strip lash. So I would squeeze out some on the back of my hand or like whatever, like little metal palette thing I was using, and would just, slowly drag the lash through glue, whatever. That doesn't really work because, again, I'd squeeze out too much glue, way more glue than what I would need for just 2 strips of lashes. So then I'd be left with like a gloop of glue on the back of my hand or little like metal thing or whatever, and I felt like I just kept using way more glue on squeezing it out than I actually was using it to apply my lashes. So I just switched to the brush on version. It's from the exact same brand. The next one I want to talk about is these 2 Wet n Wild liquid catsuit matte liquid lipsticks that I finished both the shades Give Me Mocha and Goth Topic. Give Me Mocha is essentially my perfect nude shade. It's not quite my natural lip shade color, but it's also not so light that I have to apply lip liner, but it's not so dark that it doesn't look like a nude either. It's like in this perfect category of nude for me, because I don't like wearing lip liners like for liquid lips or like lipsticks. I don't like super light nude shades, and if I do find one that I like, I don't want to have to apply a lip liner. I'm not applying a lip liner for a nude shade to make it blend into my skin tone. It just ought to just blend into my skin tone or be like a decent shade on its own. This one is that for me. If you are my shade or even a little bit lighter, I think this will be like about a nude shade on you, but like one of those like nice ones that you don't have to do any extra work to. You can apply this straight out the tube, not even really looking at your mouth, and this will be fine. I know Misa Pisa, it's weird saying her username out loud. I love her. I stand for her, and Teresa is dead. I want to be their friend. One day I want to be their friend. This is her, also a nude shade on her, and she's talked about how this is a good one where she doesn't have to use a lip liner, and I believe she's a smidgen lighter than me or is about the exact same skin tone as me. I can't really tell. But either way, she likes this one too. I recommend it. The formula is pretty good. I like it. And the shade Goth Topic, this is like a dark brown on me. I did have the shade Video Vixen as well. The two look so similar to each other on the shelf. I'll go ahead and clarify now, at least on my skin tone, for anyone who's my skin tone or darker, for like shade reference on what both of them would look like. The difference between them is super subtle. They're both really dark. This one's just more brown. Video Vixen is more like a darker red. The only difference. But they're both so close in color, you don't need both. Just choose one that you think would suit you better, one that you feel like you would wear more often. When I first got this was like a dark brown on me. I loved it. Amazing. Time went on and I would wear it more, and as I was using it up and like it was, pretty much finishing up, and it would start to take me like 4 or 5 dips before it started to look kind of close to being opaque. It started to look more like that chocolate brown rather than a dark brown on me. This is nice. I like the color. I like the name of this. It just makes me laugh, especially as being someone who, I don't even know if I can call myself a former emo, but someone who definitely was like in the Hot Topic scene or whatever. I think the name Goth Topic is really funny. It's just funny. Makes me a little bit nostalgic, but it's really funny. So I've tried other formulas and stuff. I don't hate these. They're just not my favorite though. I feel like there's other ones that I like way more. These stay also really well. Like, you can eat stuff and they'll still kind of sit there. I like these, and they fade very gracefully too. This is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Budapest. I don't like these. I genuinely don't like these. I used to really like these. Used to stand for these, in fact. I think back super early in the whole makeup scene where everybody, like the liquid lipstick train and hype was getting to be so real, and this was before every brand had a liquid lipstick line out. So like NYX was like one of the first few ones to have like a liquid lipstick. I find these to be really sheer, like really sheer. The applicator's like pretty nice. It's like a dome, and these are pretty small. So as you can see, this is pretty small. The tube makes it look like there's always product in there because it's tinted to whatever color's on the inside. I don't hate this shade. This shade is kind of like, it's another nude shade on me, but it's more of a darker purplish nude on me. I do like this. I think this isn't even the first tube that I've used with this. I think this is like my second one. But as more makeup has released and I've tried other new stuff, I have found that I don't like these nearly as much as I used to. I actually kind of hate these. They don't feel bad on the lips. They don't last very long because they transfer like crazy onto everything. Everything. Last thing I have in this whole Empties that I want to talk about is this is the Derma E Acne Blemish Control Treatment Serum. Y'all, this is so good. This is so good. And I think a couple months or so ago, I decided to take like initiative and like really work on like bettering and improving my skin, because I looked in the mirror and I was like, I'm so tired of having acne. I'm just so over it. I'm so tired of feeling like every time I wear a foundation, it just looks awful. Like, it just looks like trash. Like, and no matter how much makeup you put on your face, if your skin doesn't look good, the makeup's not gonna look nearly as good as it could. So for me, I've really been working hard on like improving my skin, finding what works best for me, fixing things in my diet that don't really work for me. I found that dairy kind of doesn't, like, not only am I just lactose intolerant just in general, but it also breaks me out, which is why I don't really eat dairy like that. Like, I try very hard to avoid it if I can at all. So I've been working really hard on like improving my skin, currently working on my hyperpigmentation because my acne has gone down so much because of this. Oh my gosh, it says there's only 2 fluid ounces in here. This lasts me for about a month and a half, I would say. I kind of bought it on a whim because I did decide I wanted to do something about my skin, and I knew I wanted to try a serum because I felt like the cleansing washes I was used to using weren't doing as much for my skin as I felt like it could. So I felt like maybe I needed something more concentrated, basically, like a serum. So I was in Ulta one day, browsing the aisle, and I saw this, read some reviews in the aisle on my phone, and I decided to get it. It's, I think, $19 or something, but again, it lasts me like a month and a half. This is so good. It has active salicylic, I think I did it right that time, salicylic acid with tea tree oil and aloe vera. It has no GMOs, it's cruelty free, 100% vegan, gluten free, no soy, and the package is recyclable. So what's to hate here? What's to hate? It's really good. It comes with it's a pump, so you can essentially pump it out. You can apply this up to 3 times a day, I believe. I was doing it 2 times. I started out like the first week that I used it, I only used it once just to kind of get my skin used to it and check and make sure that this wasn't gonna break me out, because I don't have super sensitive skin, but I also know that there could be stuff out there that my skin may not react super well to, and I wasn't sure if this would be one of them. So for the first week, I only used it once, and it was just me in the morning. And then when I noticed that my skin was doing fine with it, I bumped it up to 2, and I would do it in the morning and at night. And that improved my skin so much. Yeah, so thanks for coming and hanging out with me and listening to me basically talk through all of my trash. Now I can finally throw this all away. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you come back to the next one, I guess. That'd be really cool. Leave me a comment down below about anything. Is there any questions you have for any of the products that I did try, or any of my opinions, or maybe any suggestions for stuff that you think I'd like if I didn't like something, you know? The Smashbox liquid lipsticks. them's a no-go. Them's a no-go. Unless they do like a new formula, I probably won't try them again. But yeah, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything, let me know. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Ugh.Kerria, Kerria. I hope to see you soon somewhere on the internet. Again, thanks for coming out with me. I'll see you.